Hello, this is Angelia with today's wisdom. Today's wisdom comes from Daily Om. Power of empathy. Being afraid of opening your heart. And there are a lot of people who have that problem. It is not easy to have an open heart in a world that offers us a full plate of experiences. And sometimes they can be good and sometimes they can be bad. This life gives us much joy, love, and light. But it also shows us a fair amount of pain, sadness, and suffering. And of course, we would all rather have the good stuff without the bad stuff. But life here on earth is not like that. Jesus told us that, so it's just going to be what it is. When our hearts are open, we take everything into ourselves. And that scares some people. Because some people are very sensitive and easily hurt. And you have to learn to not do that. You have to learn to kind of roll with the flow, roll with the punches, go on, move on with your life, because stuff is going to happen. And if you get held up on every single little thing, you're going to have a much harder life than if you can say, well, at least it's over, and go on with your life. We are deeply affected by what we see. We do not hold ourselves separate from the pain of others. And I know I'm kind of like that. When others hurt, I hurt. I had a psychologist call me an empath. But it's not always like that. It's mostly the people that, I care about and I have, feelings for. I think most of us are like that. In addition, our personal disappointments may begin to take their toll. And they do. Wasn't, but probably, not quite a decade ago that, I was thinking about just ending it all because nothing was working out in my life, and I felt like I was going to be a burden, and I was just like, well, why bother? Why even live this life if this is how I'm ending up? But thankfully I had second thoughts, talked to a different doctor who was able to help me, and sometimes we're in that position, and it's okay to reach out for help. There's no shame in it. We all get down sometimes, and it's okay to reach out for help. We may feel small, alone, and overwhelmed. And I think at some point in time, all of us feel that way. Most of us may feel like we are not up to the task of living with our hearts open. And we might begin to close down, little by little, so that we can get through our days without having to feel too much. And I've met people like this. They're very closed off, they're very jaded, they're very negative. There's a person who told me that their mother was the meanest woman alive, but if that's true, then he was the most negative man alive, because no matter what you told him, it could be the best news in the world, he would put a negative spin on it. And you're sitting here like, I had this whole thing to tell you. You focused on this one word, and now you've turned my good news that I had to tell you into this bad thing that you think it is, and never mind. One thing that can help us turn this situation around is an awareness of the power of empathy. Now, empathy is basically, putting yourself in the other person's shoes, feeling how you would feel if you were in that person's situation. And a lot of people don't think about that. A lot of people are quick to judge, well, think about it. If you were in that situation, what would you honestly do? And how would you honestly feel? And when you can do that, that's part of becoming a mature person. Take a step back and think about how others feel. When anything is going on, before you say or do anything, be mindful of how it's going to affect other people. To open our hearts to another person's suffering is a revolutionary act that has energetic implications. And that they're meaning it makes ripples. You know, every little drop makes a ripple. And if you reach out to other people, you can show them empathy. You can show them some compassion, understanding. That's going to make a difference in their life, because they're going to realize that you do care, because you're bothering, to do that without judging them. Many experiments with meditation have proven that we can reach far beyond the boundaries of ourselves and heal others when our hearts are open. We can pray for people, we can reach out to people and show them a little kindness, and some compassion and some understanding, that can go a long way in a person's life. Heart meditations awaken this power and heal the person meditating, as well as anyone who is the focus of the meditation. Like I said, you can pray for them, you can, meditate on them, and, show them a little love, because the world is not that much of a loving place, and, you can kind of sway things. You may want to experiment with this the next time you see or hear something painful. And every day we see or hear something painful, because, the TV shows us things, the computer shows us things, the radio tells us things, you will hear things from other people. We can do this on a daily basis. I don't know how many times I pray a day, but if I hear something, like there's a disaster or something, I'll pray, for peace for the souls of the people who, pass, and that their family and friends find peace, and something good come out of it, and, pray for the people who need healing, and, you can stop and do this, throughout the day, to try and tip the balance, like I say, because the world is definitely sliding the wrong way. Instead of shuttering your emotions, resolve to hold your feelings in your heart, because it's okay to feel shocked by something. It's okay to feel upset by something. It's okay to feel sad about something, and there's so much of that in the world today that people are shutting themselves off. They're becoming, they put their walls up, they're becoming jaded, and they shut themselves off. And when we all do that, then, we don't have a society. We have a bunch of individuals, looking out for number one, and then we have no society because it falls apart. Tap into the divine energy of universal love that resides in your heart, because God is love. God created us, He loves us. That's why He sent Jesus to be our Savior, to bring us to be with Him. So if you can't find love in your heart, then that tells me you want nothing to do with God. And that's a mistake on your part. This energy makes you powerful, for it is your protection that will transmute the pain of others. And like I say, you can pray for other people. You can go to God in prayer. And I pray anytime I have family or friends tell me they're sick or something problem, I pray for them, because as the saying goes, it only takes one voice. So the energy makes you powerful. Breathe deeply and let yourself feel the pain of the situation, knowing that your heart is big and strong enough to hold it. And that some people are afraid. They think, I'm not strong enough to handle this pain. I can't do it. And that's why, sometimes we decide we need to check out because it's too much for us. But God gives us strength. He promised us that, He wouldn't give us anything that we couldn't handle. Now, we might not think we can, but He might know that we can. So, like I say, if you're having thoughts about checking out, you might want to go talk to somebody and say, here's what I'm thinking, and I don't like feeling this way. Can you help me? And, if that's what they're trying to do, then they can. As you breathe, visualize healing light emanating from your heart and touching all that are suffering. And you know, I've done that meditation before, kind of try and heal the world, try to tip the balance to the light, because a lot of darkness happening in the world. You will heal your heart in the process, because that's something that I've heard. The more you pray for others, the more God's taking notice of you. The more you meditate and send, you know, healing or Reiki or whatever you want to call it to others, the more is coming through you. So, you know, if you have love and compassion and understanding for others, then more people are going to have that for you, and you know, the higher power is definitely going to, you know, have that for you, because he sees that you're trying to make a difference in the world and tip the scales towards the light side. So, you know, don't be afraid of opening your heart, and realize that there is power in empathy. Think about it. Please like and share this, so we can spread this wisdom around the world. And if you want to help me out, subscribe to my YouTube channel. And if you want to help me even more, go to my Patreon page and become a patron. That's all for now. Until next time.